Pay attention to the number 13, my gorgeous Scorpio. Pay attention to the number 13 throughout this week. Every single time you become aware of number 13, 1, 3, every single time you become aware of this number, you need to understand that there is some kind of blessing going to enter your life. And it's going to happen in such a way when you become aware of number 13, whether this is going to be on television, you see number 13, whether this is going to be on the internet, whether this is going to be on your phone, like whether this is going to be, whether this is going to be on your watch or on your clock, or wherever you see number 13, you need to understand that this is part of the sacred guidance you are going to be showered with, and the way these blessings are going to enter your life each time you become aware of it. Each time you send a little signal to your spirit, to your soul, that this is something that you are taking seriously by paying attention to what exactly was on your mind and what the problem you have been dealing with and what exactly you were thinking about. I can assure you 1,000,000% that every single time you come across the actual number 13 throughout this week, I can assure you that every single time when you realize what were you thinking at around that time, I can assure you that you are preventing yourself from not doing something that you should have been doing since a long time ago. And this is why this aspect of your life is ever so important, because it's going to allow you to reflect in that moment in time and realize what are you doing wrong, where the blockage is and where the actual blockage is on your path, and to immediately remove it by thinking about it from a different angle, by thinking about it like a good challenge rather than something negative. You see, this week the energy is going to be out of this world. This is what the energy is going to do. And when it comes to your intuition and when it comes to your psychic abilities, this is going to be absolutely out of this world, okay? And this is why you will be able to read the signs and to feel the signs from a completely different angle. And each time see the actual number 13, and each time you respond to it by thinking immediately, what on earth am I slowing myself down with? Each time you do this, each time you are going to unlock an important part of you which has been making you really heavy and which has been preventing you from flying, my gorgeous Scorpioni. So this is why this is going to be so important indeed. This is why this is going to be so important indeed. Listen to me very carefully. At around the beginning of this week, you are going to have a very interesting news, very interesting information. This news and information, it's nothing to do with you or your life, but it's to do with somebody else. You will think and realize what happened to somebody else whom you have a very strong connection to anyway. So you will be able to feel what that particular person is going through from a different aspect. And this is going to be so beneficial for you because it's going to inspire you in the best possible way. So what are you going to hear that somebody has done or somebody is doing? It's again going to be playing an important role when it comes to you realizing something about yourself, how much you want to do this. But because you feel connected to this person, this is going to be even more enhanced in the best possible way. And it's going to feel, because it is going to be a rather enlightening experience indeed. This, without you even realizing, is going to start aligning your life. You will align yourself at this moment in time because the new phase, it's about to begin, and it's always the best. It's always the best when a new phase in our life begins at a time when we are absolutely not expecting this whatsoever, because we respond in a completely different way. There are two different us. Do you know what I mean? One, we respond when we are prepared to something, for something, and another part of us is when we respond when it's completely spontaneous. Both of these things are really important, because it depends which exactly situation we are talking about. But when it comes to something like this, my gorgeous Scorpioni, this is the beginning of a very important stage. So when you are like really so motivated by somebody, like I want this, you know, I want this in my life. I want my life to be like this. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not being a copycat or anything like that whatsoever. It doesn't matter through which kind of psychic channel, through which dimension this is going to slide into our lives. That doesn't matter. The most important is how we feel about it at that moment in time. So this is something which is going to bring a confidence, like, oh my God, and you will realize that, you know, it's not only you will realize how much you want to do something, and you are gonna start looking into it so much, because the elements around it that you're gonna need to learn, the elements around it that you're gonna still need to work towards some kind of specific goal right now, like something that you're working on right now until that comes to an end, you know, and then you kind of take this on. But then again, at the same time, you really should take this sorry, I shouldn't say like that you have to like finish with something first in order to take this on. No, sorry, don't get me wrong. Something else that you are doing also you need to finish, but you take this at the same time on, because you're gonna think like maybe something else that you are doing that you need to finish, like you're not gonna be able to do two things at the same time. No, baby, no. The magic is in here. The magic right now is for you to take on as much as you can. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. And the more scarier this seems, like, oh, it's not the right time. No, I can't do this. I'm going to juggle too many responsibilities. The more responsibilities you may have, or the more responsibilities you have on your mind, trust me, the greater outcome it's actually going to be here. So please, for the love of God, as soon as you're inspired by that particular person, just remember, the next step when it comes to that is you learning something, you diving into it. It's not going to take that long for whatsoever, but it's more about what you're going to discover about yourself, okay? And this is why this is going to be so important, because you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, what are you doing right now? Do you know what? Do you know why you're going to feel so inspired by that particular, what that particular person has done? You know why? Why is this going to inspire you? Why is this going to suddenly change everything? Like, oh my God. Do you know why? Because this is primarily going to remind you of you, yourself, what you do, how your life is, how your spiritual journey is. And it's primarily going to remind you of your own vision. You will, you know, like find yourself in it. So this is why you're gonna feel like, oh my God, because this is because what are you gonna see, and you know it's gonna remind you of your own vision. So this is why you're gonna be like, oh my God, and at that moment in time things are already gonna start changing indeed. And all you need to do is just basically dive into it in form of like, you will see what naturally will come to you when it comes to reflection, when it comes to learning, when it comes to like you preparing yourself for something and making a first move and making a first step by actually considering this seriously. When it comes to you kind of reading more about something, learning more about something, finding out a bit more about something, one thing is literally going to lead into another. When I say learning, I'm not saying that you need to go to college or university. No, baby, no. Most of the time it's waste of time anyway. But yeah, anyway, so, but I'm just saying that basically this is important that this is important for you to take seriously, because you at that moment in time, you're already going to make an important step without even realizing. You are gonna start a process of like a really one of the most powerful transformation of your life, just by considering this, by taking this seriously, and by making the first step, because there is something that you will want to learn and find out. And as soon as you do this, and it's only like about reading a little bit, or it's the part of this preparation, something will be missing, and very quick, very soon, very shortly, you will find out what is actually missing, because you're literally going to be drawn towards something, drawn to read something, and you're going to find out something that was missing, and the missing element, the missing part. And after that moment in time, everything is going to become clear indeed. And somebody is going to be kind of like a really like a maybe a little bit negative to you at around the beginning of this week, at around that time. Someone is going to be a little bit rude to you, a little bit negative to you. But then again, at the same time, this is also gonna be so remarkable, because normally this would really kind of drive you nuts, and this would really kind of make you worried. But now this is going to be this beautiful indication that it's just going to remind you that what inspired you in the first place at the beginning of this week, it's only going to remind you of this, and you're going to realize how much you want to move away from a certain person or a certain group of people. You're going to realize how much somebody had like a really so much of a negative impact and influence on your life. And you're Scorpione, you don't do really well around people that are very negative, because this reflects on you in a negative way. On everybody it reflects on a negative way, of course, but when it comes to you, because you're very deep, you're very spiritual, and then that kind of takes you kind of like further away from yourself, and that's never good, of course. So it's to do with the people or a person with a rather toxic energy anyway, like a rather annoying energy, and it's also like kind of do with you, with a great moment where you are this is gonna be so beneficial for you, that person telling you something, or that person disagreeing with something, that person being really annoying. It's only gonna remind you of how much do you want to move on with your life. So this is why this is going to be so important indeed. It's just basically. And also, my gorgeous Scorpione, you are really kind of going to run into a little problem here, which you're going to find really challenging, and the problem that you're going to run into, it's only going to happen purely because you are really kind of gonna, you're going to find challenging. There is a one specific person here, one specific person who is very close to you, who is like a really friend, or like a really great friend or a family member who you get on with like there is no tomorrow, and like a really nice person, and that particular person is gonna really kind of suggest something to you. It's gonna tell you something, and you are gonna take this very seriously, because you will know that that particular person has got some kind of relevant experience with what you are doing right now and what are you deciding to do, and that person is gonna point something to you, and this is really kind of gonna make you a little bit worried, because it is to do with like a financial situation, that is something is going to be pointed out at you, and it's to do with your financial situation. This is something that's going to get you worried, and you're going to feel like you're not ready and like you're not prepared, but you absolutely are. You need to understand, all you need to do, I repeat again, is just making the first step and making the first move by reading more and finding out a little bit more. And by reading and finding out a little bit more, you will see the other things that are going to become obvious, the other things you're going to become fully aware, which are going to answer the questions that were unanswered. And especially when it comes to you being worried about money and finances and making certain moves at this moment in time, no baby, no, do not even go down that road. Don't think negatively about things before they even happen, because you're going to build a wall in between you and your future that no one else can remove but you. But by the time you realize this is going to be too late. So you have to, my point is, when someone points something out to you, somebody nice, somebody meaning well, blah blah blah, and things like that, somebody nice here, you must not take that too seriously, my gorgeous Scorpione, whatsoever, okay? Because as I said, it's all gonna become absolutely crystal clear. for you here. Indeed, you just focus on it, focus on what inspired you, focus on what gave you this confidence, focus on your blessings, because this is going to bring one of the biggest changes into your life in the shortest period of time. Already in 10 days, you will become aware of an opportunity which you can only dream at this moment in time to have. In as little as 10 days time, in 10 days time, you're already going to have a mind-blowing opportunity out of this world that you can only dream of. But it's not gonna happen if you don't trust yourself. It's not gonna happen if you don't take this on. We must never ever ever in this world, never, the crazy world, never ever ever in this life waiting for the perfect moment. Never wait for the perfect moment. 99% of things, it's us just showing us. It's our energy, it's us being there. Just go with the flow, baby. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about disappointing people. Don't worry about not feeling right. Don't worry about waiting for the right moment, because if we wait for the right moment, it's never gonna come. Just go through things in life when they come and deal with the consequences later. Just follow this energy and flow with it freely without any worries whatsoever, because my gorgeous Scorpioni, this is the time where you really need to be as optimistic as you possibly can. Another reason for that is because your energy is so powerful, and I know I'm saying this, but Scorpioni, it's my ascendant, I get you, baby. You know, your energy, it's very strong. Your energy is very powerful. It can go far. It's very strong. But baby, it can also go very far against you if you are constantly bringing yourself down, and if you're slowing yourself and preventing yourself from moving on with your life. This is what you need to snap out of. So this is all going to contribute towards you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, coming out of your comfort zone and gaining some kind of respect. It's the beginning of liberation. It's the beginning of your own freedom, but it's also the beginning of where your life, it's about to become so much more practical. You'll do less and you'll have more, especially when it comes to your precious energy. Indeed, like, oh my God. And also, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to the mid part of this week, you know that you are really going to find yourself being pretty much so rather indecisive. You're going to be very indecisive here. And what are you going to be indecisive about is whether I should really, you know, someone is going to need your help. Someone is going to need your help. And you're going to find yourself being completely cuckoo. Not cuckoo, sorry. It's completely not the word that I should have used. Cuckoo. Cuckoo, like me cuckoo. No, you're going to find yourself being a little bit, not cuckoo, sorry. You're going to find yourself being a little bit indecisive. Do you know why? Because somebody is going to need your help. And that particular person who is going to need your help has done something to you. And it hasn't been nice to you, but it is kind of part, that person is part of your life. That person is always going to be part of your life, and that person is going to need your help, and that person is going to need something. That person is going to need your help, and you're going to be like, no way, bastard. But I would just suggest you to help. I would just suggest you to help. Because now you're going to feel some kind of grudges against that particular person. But if you don't help that person, and you will be able to help, you will know what this is. It's about you giving something to that person and helping them. That's how I see it. But you're not going to kind of feel too excited about it, because this is to do with somebody who has done something negative to you. But if you don't help them, you will regret. And I don't mean this in a bad way. And if you do help them, you will be blown away what an impact on that person's life this is going to have, but you will be more blown away what a negative impact on this person's life it would actually be if you did not help to this person whatsoever. Sometimes in this life we need to do what we don't like to do or we don't want to do. And especially when it comes to the certain people that have wronged us before or that has done something to us, you are going to be the one who is going to come out of it as a better person in so many different ways. But you're also going to have a beautiful spiritual and karmic reward when it comes to it. Let me show you when it comes to the karmic reward that you're going to have. When it comes to the karmic reward, my gorgeous Scorpioni, by you helping to this person, I will show you exactly what are you going to get out of it as a karmic reward. I don't want to sound like too crazy here. By you helping this person, you are going to save their life. No pressure. You see what I mean? And see, this is why sometimes we just have to see beyond, you know. And sometimes also people do silly things in life that are making them be like a certain person or a certain personality, but behind it are really gorgeous and nice people. But some kind of demons they have are so much stronger than them. And they're just leading them towards the paths and towards the things that they would never do in the first place. Sometimes people are dealing with their own demons that are so much stronger than what they are. And it is true. Sometimes people can come across vile, arrogant and horrible. They even say wrong things all the time. I know. But inside they can be so nice. And this is also a lot to do with the demons that they're having and going through, their own demons. But it's also to do a lot with their upbringings, with unusual things that have been happening in their childhood. Sometimes people have their childhood which is completely different to everybody else's childhood. And of course that these people are going to be slightly different, especially when it comes to them projecting their energy towards the world. And when it comes to them responding to things in general, they respond in a different way. So, you know, the karmic reward is just amazing. The karmic reward that you are going to have, you see this? It's going to come in a form of a new beginning. Okay? It's going to come in a form of a new beginning. New beginning when it comes to something that you have been so sad, so down, and so negative about for so long. And that new beginning, my gorgeous Scorpioni, it's also going to lead towards your own reconciliation. It's going to lead towards your own reconciliation, but it's also going to lead towards some kind of a dream of yours coming true in exactly 11 weeks after this moment in time. 11 weeks after this moment in time, one of your dreams, it's about to become reality. Like, oh my God, my gorgeous Scorpioni, I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna start screaming in a minute. I'm gonna start screaming in a minute. Yeah, basically, yeah. So this is why this is gonna be so important. And also, when it comes to the midweek, you know, you are going to have the moment of justice. I like this so much. There is something that you've been waiting for. Something that you've been waiting for, like a moment of justice, whether this is to do with the legal justice, some kind of court case, or whether this is to do with like you waiting for someone to decide something for you. Hallelujah, my gorgeous Scorpionini. Hallelujah, my gorgeous Scorpionini. You are going to love the outcome of this justice process. Indeed, it's going to work in your favor, but also at the same time, this is a very strong and powerful indication that this time of your life, if you do want to start some kind of proceedings, it is going to work out in your favor, because you are having some kind of a good luck when it comes to that as well. Indeed, it's not only about the process of justice, but this in itself, it's really going to allow you to accept what you need to accept. For example, it's going to allow you to separate illusion from reality. So that in itself means there is something that you're going to need to accept, but more in terms of how long it's going to take after that moment in time. So it's going to help you to be patient. But then again, you know, it's like you've been like kind of in some kind of self-imposed prison for a while. So this in itself, it's going to be beneficial, because it's going to start the process of you coming out of it by clearly understanding what exactly do you need to sacrifice. This is going to be a good sacrifice. If that and sacrifice that, you need to accept that something is going to take a while, but you must not allow that to put you off whatsoever, because it is going to be a rather enlightening stage in your life. Indeed, you're going to start seeing things about yourself and about your life after this moment in time from a completely different angle, and this is ever so important when it comes to you kind of committing yourself to the right things in your life. Okay. And also, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to the midweek, do not ignore there is some kind of traveling journey that you're going to need to make. Please do not ignore a little mini trip that you're going to need to make in between the midweek and in between the end of the week. In between the midweek and the end of the week, there is a short little journey and trip that you're going to need to make. You will go somewhere that you don't normally go to, or you will go somewhere where you've never been before. And this trip and journey, it's ever so important. It's going to surprise you, but it's ever so important, because you are gonna have some kind of idea. You are going to have some kind of a clarity, like something is going to happen, but you're also going to have some kind of idea how to start a specific process, you know, that you would never otherwise find out. So this is why this journey is going to be important. And also, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to the last part of this week, I love this so much. When it comes to the last part of this week, like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, because, you know, you are going to have such a good news, like about something that you have been working on, and I'm so happy for you. It's to do with something that you've put so much of your precious energy towards, but you never had enough outcome whatsoever. So it's a very good news when it comes to success, when it comes to that, when it comes to accomplishment, when it comes to some kind of recognition. This is important for two reasons. Number one, you will feel the change. You will feel how heavy and good the change, how big change it's actually going to be, how much your life is going to change. You will be able to understand and feel the full extent of this. You know what I mean? You will feel an ultimate change. That's number one. Number two, this is also going to give you such a remarkable courage and confidence as well, and it's gonna give you a courage, it's gonna give you confidence, which are gonna shake you up nicely. It's gonna re-energize you, it's gonna rejuvenate you, and it's gonna put you in a mode where you're gonna be completely unstoppable, my gorgeous Scorpioni. And here you will really going to be like, you know, in such a fantastic mode where nothing is gonna stop you from like drifting towards this ultimate change. And you're gonna worry. Like what would normally make you worried, like about money and finances or something like that, it's gonna kind of be sticking out. Oh my God, I can't do this because of that, I'm not too sure about that. And then you're gonna realize, and this is such a sacred moment, because you're gonna realize this is all gonna bring you to the point where you're gonna realize that you have been preparing for this for a very long time, for many years. And on top of that, you're gonna realize that you've got everything you possibly need to have. This is fantastic. This is brilliant. You're going to realize you've got everything you need to have, because now you're going to remind yourself something that you've been through a few weeks ago. You looked at a certain group, you were around a certain group of people, and they were like talking, they were doing something, they were working on something. You picked up on something. You realized something that they were doing, and you're going to be reminded of this, and this you're going to be able to apply right now. what you realize. You're going to realize how everything is connected, but most importantly, you are going to feel alive again, my gorgeous Scorpioni. Indeed, like, oh my God, what a crazy week. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.